From the Gulf States newsroom, this is the Gulf States Gumbo, your weekly serving of stories from Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. I'm economic mobility reporter Stephan Bisaha, chopping it up this week. When it comes to cybercrimes and scams, we tend to talk about two different types. First, there are those scam calls we can't seem to end no matter what. And then there are those massive hacks and data breaches at giant companies like Sony and Equifax. But today, we're talking about a different kind of cyber attack. Online scams that hit small businesses. Because the truth is, small businesses get attacked way more than big ones. A report from Verizon found small businesses fell victim to cybercrimes about 4 times as often as larger organizations. Those attacks, they come with serious consequences. MasterCard did a survey of small and medium businesses and found that for the ones that were attacked, nearly 20% went bankrupt or closed shop. So this is a huge threat to small businesses everywhere. And to see what that looks like, we're making a stop at a neighborhood bar in New Orleans. The neighborhood is Algiers Point, and the bar is called the Little House. In some ways, the Little House feels about as far removed from the world of tech as you could get. It's the kind of place where you can sip fancy wine next to chicken feed and a taxidermied alligator. Here's how the bar's owner, Hillary Hanning, described the vibe.
We're swamp chic, if you will.
Swamp chic? I hadn't heard that one before.
I mean, you look around, we've got taxidermy and all kinds of stuff, but it's like encompassed with this very bougie-esque, really cool boutique wine selection and fun cocktails. It's struggling to death, but we're having fun.
Back in November, Hanning was planning a fundraiser for a winery in North Carolina devastated by Hurricane Helene. And during all that frantic prep, Hanning got a Facebook message. It looked to be from the website support team, and it said there was fraudulent activity on her account.
Yeah, if you don't think this is correct, you can appeal it, whatever. So, of course, in that knee-jerk moment, I hit appeal, and it all started to fall apart after that.
She started getting calls from friends for strange products being sold on her page.
Asking me about golf carts, televisions, a truck that they were trying to fake sell.
The social accounts for Hanning's bar were stolen, and the fraudster was now trying to use them to defraud others. Online scams are less about high tech than high emotions. Scammers get their victims riled up, so they react rather than think about doing things like sharing passwords. And it's easier to do that with small business owners who have less resources for a cybersecurity plan. Michael Daniel is with the Cyber Threat Alliance, and he says small businesses are also stretched thin.
People who are running them are often quite busy, wearing 17 hats, so they are more vulnerable often.
Yeah, it's hard to add an 18th hat to be your own cybersecurity expert.
Absolutely. Frankly, we shouldn't expect them to.
Last year in Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, more than $250 million was lost to online crimes, according to the FBI. That same year, 41 state attorneys general, including from Alabama and Louisiana, demanded Meta take action to protect customer accounts. And Daniel agrees that social media companies need to step up more.
I will say that I know people at Meta that work on their security programs, and they are actually very concerned about the level of fraud. It's just that we haven't sort of structured the market to really demand that these platforms operate in a certain way that is more secure by default.
We reached out to Meta for comment, but did not hear back. Hillary Hanning said after 3 weeks, a friend called her and said he did manage to get someone from Meta on the phone. She ended up spending 4.5 hours talking and following instructions under the hope of getting her accounts back.
He's like, Miss Hanning, this is just a way to verify and work around and whatever. And then you realize that your mother's bank account has been depleted.
Yes, it was another scammer. Both Hanning and her friend were tricked, and the new scammer got $10,000 from Hanning. She covered it by borrowing money, which meant more debt on top of what she already had to keep the bar going.
And you're disappointed in yourself because you fell for it and you put people you love very much in a harder situation than needed to be in.
Cybersecurity experts like Michael Daniel said small business owners should not blame themselves for falling for a scam.
Actually, I started to try to avoid using that terminology, falling for. It's natural that you would have those feelings, but I don't think that someone should beat themselves up because the entire deck is stacked against you.
By that, he means scam artists can lose dozens of attempts without much consequence. But a small business owner can't afford to slip up even once, all while still juggling all those other hats they still have to wear.
The Gulf States Newsroom is a team of journalists working with NPR and local public media stations in Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana to cover the issues that matter to you. Email us, connect@gulfstatesnewsroom.org.
You are listening to the Gulf States Gumbo. I'm Stephan Bisaha. And you just heard about how Hillary Hanning's bar in New Orleans was hit by a cyber attack. And since that story came out, we actually have a big update. I recently did a version of that story on NPR's daily economics podcast, The Indicator from Planet Money, and I reached out to Meta for comment like I did the first time around. Only this time, I got an email back from Meta spokesperson Erin Logan. Now, we did get a statement from her. The gist of it is that Meta works hard to keep scammers off its platforms and invests in new tech and solutions to stop them. And she wrote that scams require everyone to do their share, from governments to banks to law enforcement and even other tech companies. But Erin also asked for more details about Hillary's case and said they'd see if they could get Hillary's accounts restored. And within a few hours, Hillary's accounts were in fact back. So we thought it would be a good idea to call Hillary to check in.
Hello.
Hey, Hillary. Good to hear your voice. Now, beyond the financial loss, Hillary had lost access to her business Instagram, her Facebook business account, and her personal Facebook account. So I asked her why those accounts were so important to her.
So I'm a very small business, and it's just me. And, everything we have, I have 3 kids, a lovely family. Everything we have is in this little place. And in the grand scheme of followers, 5,000 followers is not a lot.
Hey,
But
that's
it's
a
a
lot
lot.
for a small business for a neighborhood
It's
bar.
a ton for us. It's a ton. I mean, it was a ton. And it's kind of the thing we had for our advertising because we don't have discretionary funds to place ads all over the place. And so this is our thing. And if you're 45 years old and not great at tech, placing one really good Instagram post takes like 45 minutes. So it's a lot of work. So with the loss of all that, I lost all my advertising, all of my followers, the ability that I could afford with my small business to get our name out there. I lost it. I was scared to death to do Facebook again, but I was like, let me just do an Instagram because the Instagram seemed a little more stable longer and it was a little less, I don't know, it just seemed a little safer. So I restarted, ground zero, started at Christmas and just, we've built it up to 1,500 followers or 1,400 something, which is something, but I had to rebuild and rework the whole thing. It sucks.
Okay, so we've been texting about this, and I've kind of been the middleman between you and Meta, but what is the latest status regarding your accounts?
So first of all, thank you. You and Drew Hawkins, thank you for jumping in this.
Yeah, and should say Drew, my colleague, is the person who connected me with you for this story.
Yes, he's a neighbor. So the very nice lady who got in touch with you, I am back up on my personal Facebook page.
And this is a lady on Facebook.
I'm not going to lie, it was a little weird feeling because you're like, oh my God. And then you immediately go, was this all it took? Why couldn't that have happened? It took Drew finding you, and then you trying your damnedest to get in touch with somebody all these months. And then within 24 hours, this very nice person, I'm very grateful for her, so don't misunderstand, but just opened it right back up. All of the fraudulent posts are gone. I looked through it, like all of those scammy sales posts are gone. And I'm back on, but I'm getting notifications from the business Facebook page, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm mortified to open it because, we've gotten one thing back up. I don't want to undo it because in my mind, I'm scared they're there,
Like you're scared something might still
the
happen with the scammers?
that they're still like, they'll like something will alert something, and which sounds crazy, but it may be okay, but I'm scared to death to reopen it.
May I ask, how is the business doing since, like, when we spoke in January, you were concerned about what this hit was going to do to your business?
We had a decent spring. But, New Orleans is hard because, like, right now we're in the throes of summer and it's 602,000 degrees outside. New Orleans is a little seasonal, too. Like, everyone is slow. We had a pretty good spring, but we're kind of back in it. And the debt is still there. We're holding on, but we can't get in front. The little struggle bus is struggling right along, and we're gonna keep it going as long as we can.
Yeah, still serve those great wines.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Hillary, to pivot a little bit, we also do this thing on this podcast, which we call Gulf States Gems, where we highlight some of the treasures from our region, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. What is a gem you would like to highlight?
All day, 1,000%, Algiers Point as a neighborhood.
And that's the neighborhood where your bar is located?
Yes, the whole neighborhood. We've grown so much since I moved into the neighborhood 12 years ago, and opened a little pizza place with a partner in 2017, and it's something else now. But in this neighborhood alone, you have bars, restaurants, Old Point, Crown and Anchor, Nighthawk has pizza, Plume has the best Indian food in town, Little House has all the charcuterie wine cocktails you could ever want, Barracuda's got tacos, Barge Board's got shopping, my girl B is making jewelry in her shop. I mean, it's just, you could really come and stay in the neighborhood and not leave. And if you wanted to, you could ferry right over to the French Quarter, 2-minute ferry ride, so you're right there. You've got the access to the French Quarter, but then you have this beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. And I have to tell you that these neighbors in this neighborhood are the best in the world. And you will feel, when you come here, and I've people who come to Little House say it all the time, when people come, you feel like you're a part of it. And I think that's very special.
The bar's name is The Little House. The neighborhood is Algiers Point in New Orleans. And the owner is Hillary Hanning. Hillary, thank you again for talking with us.
Oh, I can't thank you enough. I really can't.
This week's show is cooked up by the Gulf States Newsroom team. Our theme music is by DJ Supreme. Special thanks to our partner stations, WBHM, Mississippi Public Broadcasting, WWNO, and WRKF. You can find us in your podcast feeds every Friday. Look us up and be sure to subscribe. Again, I'm your host, Stephan Bisaha. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to stir your brew.